Yes, sir. We back once again, man. Welcome to another week, man, here on the NBA show. We're going to talk about LeBron James and Patrick Beverley. Yeah, adding them on to a championship race for 2022. Yeah. The Los Angeles Lakers have 3 more roster spots to fill in the offseason, with 12 players currently under contract. All signs are pointing to the Lakers signing 2 more players this offseason and leaving the 15th spot for a final signing opening for a future buyout, So, in a span of 24 hours, he was traded from the Los Angeles Clippers to the Memphis Grizzlies and then traded again to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Is that it? Are we good to proceed as this will be the final destination in 2021 for the NBA season? Let's assume so. If it is to be the case, Pat Bevs brings a rugged style of play for the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's something that they're starving for. Welcome to the NBA show. Yes, sir, let's go. NBA Insiders reveals that the King wants Pat Beverley on the Los Angeles Lakers. Patrick Beverley was drafted in 2009. Drafted a number 42 pick overall in the second draft. Beverley has come a long way. Having played for the Clippers and the Rockets, Pat Bev has made a name for himself by playing pesky defense and being effective by shutting down the opponent's top scorers on each and every team. The Clippers traded Pat Beverley to the Grizzlies to acquire Eric Bledsoe. Not long after, the Wolves traded for Beverley. Recent reports are coming out that the Lakers camp indicate that LeBron James would love to be able to sign Patrick Beverley. Woo! The chances of Pat Beverley convincing the Wolves for a buyout would be very slim. However, if the Lakers are somehow able to acquire the defensive guy, it will boost the Lakers' chance in getting better on that end of the floor as well. It will boost their defense by a ton. This guy's tough, man. We already know that. Patrick Beverley's confidence and competitiveness. Yes, sir. This dude hounds the ball and has so much energy on the court. It's ridiculous. I've always loved watching Pat Beverley, bounce around in the paint, whip to pick somebody up, and on help side defense and ready to block a shot. But watching the guard play with that type of energy on defense is always a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? Undisciplined? Sometimes. Is spending too much energy? Maybe. But I'll be damned if I don't get a little giddy every time this guy checks into the game. Yeah, I'm a little excited to see it because sometimes you're going to get a show if nothing else. Patrick Beverley is the definition of a guy who you hate to play against and you love when he's on your team. He's an instigator and a pot stirrer, and he's damn good at it. And it all starts on the defensive end for Beverley. Coaches don't look around and say, man, we need a bucket. Let's go to Patrick Beverley. He's averaging 8.8 points per game throughout his career. Who shoots the ball somewhat efficiently, but he's not often. You know what I'm saying? It just isn't his style. But for what the Lakers need, his style injected into that roster, could make a big difference. And that's because those same coaches that don't look at Pat Beverley for a bucket are the same ones to assign them on the team's best guard. You know what I'm saying? Even their best scorer. If someone's heating up, on any given night, Beverley is taking the assignment because he's known in the league to irritate guys, and he usually locks them up at times. He is following a Chandler Parsons SK trajectory of being an early second-round pick who contributes a number of ways, on the stat sheet. He defends the ball incredibly well and gets more minutes on the floor by depriving the coaches of arguments necessary to tell him he doesn't deserve to be there. The man shows up, does his job, and he knows he does it well. I very much hope we pick him up for this team option for the next 2 years, and that development really could take off. His potential is sky high with his athleticism and his nose for the ball. Once he gets more comfortable in this game and in the Toyota Center, it could be a great treat for the Lake Show. And we all know the Lakers really need to improve their defense, and Patrick Beverley can do the best. Now, Patrick Beverley is the only non-center in the top 5 in defensive real plus minus in the league. His DRPM is 3.05, and he's in front of Rudy Gobert, who's at 4.05. And he got Jacob Pollock at 3.53, and Christian Woods at 3.11, and Clint Capella at 3.05. So, in a Jazz loss against the Clippers, Donovan struggled. Mainly because of Patrick Beverley. Yes, sir. Gotta give Patrick Beverley his credit. He was first team all defense for a reason. Made my life hard to start the game. That kind of set a tone. Give Pat his credit. He's a hell of a defender. And that's from Spider Mitchell. He's a great offensive player. He says a lot. Beverley is one of the reasons why the Clippers are doing so well on the defensive end of the ball. even though they aren't amongst the best teams in the league when it comes to defense. But it's really hard to make this happen. It has nothing to do with the Los Angeles Lakers' current situation at the moment, but obviously we view Rondo as a potential fit, and the Lakers have to work out, several guards. You got Isaiah Thomas, Mike James, and Darren Collison. It is clear that the point guard is a potential need for the team, so that has nothing to do with it. It all has to do with Beverley himself, quite frankly. It all has to do with his trade value. We can sit here and make a case that Beverley should and would sign with the Lakers after battling them on the Clippers, but, that is all not true. Not at all, While he could feel this way, there is no way knowing that at the end of the day, winning a title, will probably be the most important thing for him. Yes, sir, and he could be bought out. It is the entire idea that is going to be bought out, if that were to happen. Yes, he plays on a bad team and he's on an inspiring deal, but that does not guarantee a buyout. The most important third part of the acquisition and equation of Beverley's contract is in fact the perceived value of it. Guys get brought out, even when the perceived value is far lower than what they are expected to be paid, making it impossible to justify a trade without it. That is not the case with Beverley though. Look, Patrick Beverley is making $14 million a year, which is a very movable contract in the NBA. Not only that, but he definitely has a value for a contending team that wants to add perimeter defense to their ranks. If his contract was $20 million in that range, it would be a problem. But it's not a problem whatsoever. The Milwaukee Bucks could package a 3 smaller contract with a draft capital. If so, and if they wanted to, the Nets could package DeAndre Jordan, a contract and draft capital. The Philadelphia 76ers could trade Mike Scott and a contract and draft capital. Yeah, you get the point, right? Yes, sir, there are suitors out there for Beverley that could possibly make this happen easily, even if Minnesota does not get a great return. It is better than getting no return and him buying out.